What's also extraordinary is that Canadians paid $54 million for the ArriveCAN app. What's even more extraordinary than that is the RCMP investigation we have now, which has allegations of forged resumes, identity theft, collusion, and fraudulent contracting. So, I mean, unfortunately, Mr. Johns, as you well know, we have a history in this committee of senior government executives not being forthright with us, not necessarily telling us the truth. I guess in this room I can say, frankly, lying to us, as was evidenced by the story recently in the Globe and Mail from Bill Curry. Unfortunately, the information that I have here states that in any subcontract other than a subcontract referred to in paragraph 2A, the contractor must, unless the contracting authority agrees in writing, ensure that the subcontractor is bound by conditions compatible with and in the opinion of the contracting authority not less favorable to Canada than the conditions of the contract, with the exception of the requirements under the Federal Contractors Program for Employment Equity, which only apply to the contractor. So the information that I have here doesn't necessarily corroborate with that. But Ms. Manser, what made you confirm with Ms. Chan that the issue was between the contractor and the resources?
Our contract is with Coradix and Dalian. Those two resources came to light as Coradix had subcontracting to GC Strategies, and GC Strategies proposed them as resources. So we have no stand to interfere in subcontracting because it's not the prime contractor with whom we have the contract.
Yeah, you certainly always have standing when you're dealing with taxpayer money. But who made the final decision that this wasn't this wasn't the problem of CBSA that you could resolve yourself at? Who made the final decision that you could simply say back to Bottler that, you know, we wash our hands of this? We consider the case closed from our part. You're going to have to work it out with the other individuals. Who made that final decision?
It was a collective decision.
Who made the final decision? There must have been one person that said to you, Ms. Chan, you know what? We're not going to deal with this. We're not going to get involved. This is the way it is in the government Canada. People get paid outlandish amounts. This is the way contracting is. We just sign the sections. You know, I was very fortunate to be with Global Affairs Canada for close to 15 years. I was a management consular officer there. I've been through procurement strategies. The training, certainly, I'll admit I haven't received the extent to which you have, but it's very clear, the outlines for what classifies for a sole proprietorship, when these conditions are not met, what it is. That when there is a contract you are drawing from with a preferred supplier, you know, that it is astounding that these contracts were 4 times over the amount. The rules are very clear. They're very precise. But at the same time, we have our own judgment as individuals and as teams, where we go, this doesn't make sense. This is an outlandish amount, or this doesn't make sense. And at some place, the buck has to stop, and it's somewhere someone has to take responsibility. So who made the final decision that it was not for you to decide? You can wash your hands of it. Your organization could wash your hands of it, and you could just write that note to Ms. Dutt and say that that Canada is not involved, and you have to work it out with these other 3 shady companies.
I will repeat myself that it was a collective decision that was based on the evidence that were provided by the contractors. That was also in consultation with our legal advisor. I came to that conclusion. I shared that conclusion with my supervisors, Ms. Mansour, Ms. Durgan. We all 3 of us agreed. I executed and I sent the email.
Okay, so you're taking personal responsibility for that. I have some more news for the committee. In that June 5th email, it does say Canada has determined. Well, Canada, as outlined under the Government of Canada buy and sell website that Canada is defined as His Majesty, the King, in right of Canada, as represented by, wait for it, the Minister of Public Works and Government Services. So Canada is someone. It is a minister, and they are ultimately responsible for what has happened here today.